I have been editing for 10 plus years, and these are the 5 biggest mistakes you have been making. What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Oblivious. And this video and specifically is very different from what I'm used to posting. I've been posting like the gaming videos with my boy Matthias. I've been doing reactions with him. So this channel is all mixed together with all different types of content. But if you're an OG, you know this channel started as an editing tutorials channel. So like I mentioned, I'm a video editor. I do freelance, I do my own work, I do my own stuff. I have a degree in film production. I have worked in the industry. I've worked for big companies. I have worked for YouTubers, big YouTubers, small YouTubers, streamers, etc. So I have been all over the place. I edited for different platforms: TikTok, IG, Facebook, YouTube, everything. Anything that has to do with video, I probably have done it before. Hey yo! So when it comes to social media editing, we have the video editors that just do content. We have the video editors that do like sports edits. We got the anime editors. We got the car editors. So this video here specifically is going to be useful for any type of editor. But once you open After Effects, right, you wonder, how do I start? The first step is usually getting your music and your footage downloaded into After Effects. But the biggest concern is, how do I find high quality footage? If you are not working with a videographer or a big client and they provide the high quality footage, where can I find the best quality footage and download that footage at the highest quality possible? This is mistake number 1. Most people, they just go on YouTube or NBA clips to edit, right? So they just find a random ass person. Shout out to Pookie Buddy.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
The third step on how to get high quality footage is, as always, is going to be scene packs. If you're a movie editor, you know the scene pack accounts on IG. There's also some sports scene packs that you could also try. For example, if I go to IG, if you want sports scene packs, Twizzy is one of like the best providers for footage. For example, if you want the LeBron and AD, if you want Bronny James clips, they have a lot of different athletes that you can search from. Athletes, they even got some celebrities, they even got some artists and musicians. They take requests, you just hit them up. They usually be doing requests. For example, they just say want to make LeBron and AD edit. You'll see here they have the link. It will be a mega file. Go to the address, the mega will pop up. And the good thing about Twizzy Logoless is that they already upscale the footage for you. See, all the footage already upscaled, so you don't gotta do the topaz. So if you use a scene pack account, you don't gotta do topaz. You could just boom, go straight into editing, apply your color correction, and that's it. You don't need to do no extra steps. Everything's gonna be the highest quality possible because they already went through topaz. So that is step 3 in how to get high quality footage. So also, he shows some previews. If you're looking for a specific shot, you can check Twizzy out. If you do anime, you gotta find the anime equivalent. If you're doing movies or TV shows, you gotta find those scene pack pages on your own. A lot of editors use these though, or you could just find your own footage online and use upscale it yourself. So mistake number 2 that a lot of video editors do is quality aspect ratios. For example, the video that I just downloaded was this Bronny footage, right? If you can see on the top left right here, the video footage is 1920 by 1080p. So that means if I were to make my composition 4K, the video is not gonna magically become 4K just because you export it at 4K. And the reason why I say this is sometimes you might be looking for footage on YouTube, correct? Let's say we're looking for footage for Steph. If I go here on YouTube, what some people might do is they go Steph, and they just put 4K. Just because it says 4K does not mean that the footage is actually 4K. Understand? See, this one, it might actually be 4K. Why? Steph himself uploaded it, and it was probably his videographer. So the only footage that you might trust to actually be 4K is videographer footage. For example, if you're looking at Steph's footage right here, this footage is actually 4K, 2160, boom. So this footage is actually 4K, but then you might be tricked by other people uploading footage that's not in 4K. For example, this big picture right here, Maximilian, his footage is not 4K. Why? Because the footage that he's uploading is broadcast. He either upscaled the footage or the footage was originally 1080p and he just exported his video in 4K format, which makes the screen bigger, but it's not actually making the quality better. The only way to bypass this is using programs like Topaz. This is one of the ways to upscale your footage and making the quality somewhat better. For example, clip, I want to like upscale the whole thing. I'll like use press reveal right here on video vault. When I press reveal, it will take me to the folder where it's downloaded. So I can just boom, drop it here. Once we're in Topaz, you could ×2 upscale, which will make it 4K. And when you export it, now it's actually going to be 4K upscale using AI. If you want good settings for this, I recommend looking it up on YouTube, like what are the best settings for sports, what are the best settings for anime, what are the best settings for TV shows and movies, because it's not going to be the same settings for everything. So look up the best settings specifically for your footage for your program. So unless you upscaling it using AI, your footage is not going to magically become 4K or 1080p. If the footage is 720, it's not going to magically become 1080p. And if your footage is 1080p, it's not going to magically just become 4K just because you exported it at that quality. Since we're already talking about quality, I'm going to give y'all some of the common aspect ratios that editors use. Of course, we got the 4K quality. Of course, we have the regular 1920 by 1080p, which is going to just be this one. The bad thing about this one is in TikTok, it forces people to have to turn their phone around to use this quality. There's a couple big editors that edit like this, but they just flip it when they upload. For example, EK, he uploads this video as 9 by 16, but he just turns his footage like around to keep the high quality. So that's his style though. So another common one is going to be, just unlock that. Another common one is 1080p by 1080p, which is just the square one. You used to have some people doing 1450 by 1080p, which is going to be like this one right here. Transform height, gonna be this one. You see people doing 1350 by 1080p, so it's gonna be a little shorter. And of course, we have the old school one, 1920 at 1080p, which is going to be the 9 by 16, which is how a lot of people post on TikTok already. So those are the best aspect ratios in terms of uploading to your social media of choice. Since we're already talking about aspect ratios, now let's talk about frame rate and FPS. Since we already have this footage right here, if I go to my composition settings, you'll see that my frame rate says 24. This is another big misconception when it comes to editing. For example, let's look again at the top left. The footage that I downloaded says 29.97 FPS. If I put this footage on this timeline, and just because my composition setting is 50, once you export the video, it does not magically gonna make it 60 FPS. It's not gonna make it smoother. What it's gonna do is just the software they use is gonna try to fill in the gaps of your footage, but not actually making it 60 FPS. As you can see, like every time I click, see I'm going one left, one forward, one back, it's literally the same frame. So because like since we try to make it 60, all it's doing is basically just doubling the frame rate. It's just doubling the frame to make it fit into the 60 FPS. But people, oh, it's gonna make it smoother. Unless you're doing a Twixtor, unless you're using AI to add frames, it's not gonna magically make it 60 FPS just because. If you download a TV show, if the footage is not 60 FPS, it's not gonna make it 60. Unless you do Twixtor, unless you do some type of time remap and use frame blending, unless you use another software that I used to use called Flow Frames, and it will use AI to make your footage smoother. I used it in the past. It wasn't that bad, but at the same time, it will add a lot of blurry frames because what it tries to do is tries to like match the frame before and the one after, and they try to make a one in the middle to make it look smoother. So you could use Flow Frames if you want to try and up your FPS, I guess. I don't know why you want to do that. Me personally, I just use 24 because I like the cinematic look of 24 FPS. That is, as 24 FPS is what we use in film industry. It's also what we use if you want things to look cinematic because it gives it that smooth-ish vibe. That it's not because 24 FPS is not choppy. Like if I were to just play this video, it is not choppy at all. So 24 FPS, since the footage is 29 or 30 FPS, you could even slow down the video a little bit and will not be choppy. So me personally, I edit in 24. But rendering in 60 is not gonna make your footage magically 60 FPS or 120. Now let's talk about mistake number 4 that new video editors are doing. For example, if I have my video right here, it says it's 1080p by 1080p, is 23.976 frames per second. It was my LeBron video that flopped on TikTok, of course. it flopped. One of the biggest mistakes that people do is exporting their videos at a bit rate that is too high, to the point that the file size becomes too big, and when you upload to your social media platform of choice, the video gets compressed. So I feel like the best way to put this to the test would be to find out the maximum file size that your platform allows. So even just if you just look up, do a quick Google search, let's say what is the max file size you can upload to TikTok before compression. It will tell you the maximum file size for TikTok upload varies by device. Android could upload to 72, while iOS could upload up to 287 megabytes. Although this could be true in some situations, I have noticed that even if you do 287, it will still be compressed. A lot of video editors that I know, they say the same thing. But one little trick that a lot of people have found, that instead of just trying to force yourself to bring the quality down, the best way is to take down your bitrate. And somebody came up with the idea of trying to like lower the bitrate to like from 5 up to like 10 megabytes, and that way the file size will be small enough to the point that when you upload to TikTok, it will not get compressed. From my experience, so I found a sweet point, for example, in my experience I found a sweet point between like 5 and 10ish, but it just depends on the length of your video. So if you want to be in control of your bitrate when you export from After Effects or Premiere, I think Premiere just lets you do it inside of Premiere, but for After Effects, just press composition up here, add a composition to our double media encoder queue. What this would do, it would just open your media encoder, but since mine is already open, like just click on it and wait real quick. Once it pops up, all you want to do is just click here, match source high bitrate. And I actually got this little trick or tip, I guess. I got it from my guy EK. He's the one that told me about this bitrate trick. Like if you look at his footage always looks crisp. Like look how crisp this look. He did topaz, and then he did the bitrate trick. Like before I knew how to do this, all my footage would look blurry in other people's like phones. Like for me, it would look good as hell on my phone. It's like, oh, it looks good. But as soon as I uploaded it to TikTok, boom, blurry. It will look pixelated. But once I started doing the 50 megabytes export, it actually started looking good. So in order to achieve this, what we have to do is just come here, press match source, press here, render at maximum depth, use maximum render quality, and the trick comes right here. When you get to the bitrate settings, and when it says VBR 1 pass, choose 2 pass. For the second, just pick 25, and for the first one is when we play with it to the point that the estimated file size is going to jump to 50. So right now it's at 10 is too high, let's try 8. It's going to be 53, let's try 7. 7 is 47, let's try 7.5. 7.5 is 50. So if I were to render this at 7.5 with a maximum of 25 with a file size of 50, it will still keep the same quality, but the bit rate is going to be lower to the point that it will not get compressed when you upload to TikTok. So when you upload, try to keep it under 50 megabytes by doing this trick. Like if your file size is still at 50 and you are like all the way at 20 or even like 40 because your video is like shorter, do that. Keep this at 25 and do the same thing for the others. So this is how you keep your quality the fullest when you upload into the social media platform. I think the only social media platform that didn't give me this problem is probably YouTube, and that's because YouTube just supports any 4K, any frame rate. So YouTube might be the only exception when it comes to this, but IG and TikTok, they both do compress your videos. Doing this trick, the 25, boom, then the 7.5. This is what some of the big editors do in order to keep the quality. Like I said, my boy EK, his footage always looks crisp using this trick. The fifth and the last mistake is uploading your footage to your platform. Like once you render your video, let's just say you just have the video here exported. How do I send this video to my phone to post it and still keep the highest quality possible while sending it from my PC to my phone? You might say, oh, I could just upload the video on the TikTok desktop app. The only issue with this is you cannot pick your own song, like yada yada yada, so the video might get muted. The best way to transfer your footage and keep your quality is going to be Google Drive. If you go to Google, I say it will be either Google Drive, Dropbox, or WeTransfer. Like as you can see right here, I have all my videos here. I could just open this one, and if I click on it, you see that the quality is at the highest, all of that. So what I have to do, I just have the Google Drive app downloaded on my phone, click on it, you just click the 3 dots, you click send a copy, and from send a copy, you just press save video. Then just like that, the video will be saved on your device and you can just upload it from your phone, and the way you keep the highest quality possible when you upload. So there you guys have it. Those are the 5 biggest mistakes that video editors make, whether it's how to download high quality footage, scene packs, the best aspect ratios, and how just downloading a 1080p video, you cannot just automatically make it 4K unless you use Topaz. Whether it is trying to make a 30 FPS footage is a 60 FPS unless you enhance it with AI or you use Twixtor or frame blending with time remap. You can't just magically make it a 60 FPS. Whether it is rendering your footage, keeping it as high quality as possible when you upload to a platform without getting compressed, for example TikTok or IG. I said try to aim for the 50 megabytes. Like you could tinker and try, oh let me try 100, let me try 75, let me try 50. Just try to see what works for you and let me know in the comments, like, oh I tried 75 and it still looks pretty good, Oblivious. I'll say, alright. If you tell me, oh it works for you, alright, I might try it too. But I know 50 has been working for me. And of course, step number 5 being how to get your footage from your PC to your phone while maintaining the most quality possible. As I told you, you could use Google Drive, you could use Dropbox, you could use WeTransfer. All those methods work when it comes to sending footage and keeping quality. If you guys want more videos like these, or if you guys actually want some type of editing tutorials, just let me know in the comments below. What do you want to watch? Do you want to learn some simple effects that look good, that make your edits look more expensive? If you guys want how to make a good intro that will stop people from scrolling, if you guys want just a step-by-step from beginning to the finish editing guide, or whether it is somebody's effect, somebody's style, any style that you guys want to learn, whether it's some type of intro, how to sync, how to mask, how to do VHS effects, how to do anything. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I've been editing for 10+ years. I've been part of every type of era of editing. I was in the Vine days, I was in the IG days, now I'm in the TikTok days. So I've been editing for a while. I even got a degree in film production for a reason. So I know a lot of the industry tricks. So let me know, I'm here for y'all as long as y'all here for me. Can we get 50 likes? I don't know if we're gonna get 50. I might be asking for too much. Hopefully YouTube puts me on the algorithm. But hey, I guess we'll never know. It has been your boy Oblivious. I appreciate you for watching all the way through. Hold on, let me see. If y'all watching all the way to the end, comment Mamba. If you're watching all the way to the end, comment Mamba real quick. And as always, Oblivious out, man.
Who the f is Oblivious?
Fake niggas, fake, yeah. A fraud, nigga, that's that shit I